This is the truth about men. And what is this? This is the channel that's here to help you understand the inner machinations of men, how they operate, why they do the things that they do, etc., so that you can have a more cohesive romantic life. I'm Kieren, and I'm an author and a male dating coach, a men's dating coach, and as a result, I believe that I am uniquely qualified to tell you what's going on in the minds of us men. What I am here to do is to tell you why men do the things that they do. Now, when I answer questions about things that men have done, I will sound like I agree with them, because in order for me to tell you what was going on in someone's mind, I need to step into their shoes, okay? But even though it sounds like I agree because I'm stepping into their shoes to see things from their perspective, it doesn't necessarily mean that I agree. I'm just giving you the truth from their perspective. But then it also doesn't mean that I disagree as well, because I am not here to tell you that all men are terrible. And I'm also not here to tell you that all men are amazing. I'm just here to explain to you why men do the things that they do. And with that, I have a question. The question comes from Michi. And Michi says this: Kieren, why is it that my male friends always try to have sex with me? Like, always. It never, ever, ever doesn't happen. And in fact, there was a guy that I thought we were really close friends with, and that we had bonded on a proper deep level. And he actually tried to get with me behind my boyfriend's back. What the hell's going on? Why does this always happen? Why do my male friends try and have sex with me? All right. So in order for me to explain this, something I need to say is that men are different to women, and most men are not like me. So what does that mean? I have female friends, and I can look at a woman and just categorize her as a friend. But that's not because I'm specifically special. It's because literally growing up, I had close female friends. Like, there was a girl called Karina, and when we were kids, like me and Karina were like this. We used to have baths together, we played together, There was another one called Danielle. From a young age, my brain was trained to see women as being potential friends. You know, that you can have a totally platonic relationship with a woman and it's cool. As well as that, I'm also a bit of a mummy's boy as well. Growing up, I was closer to my mum than my dad, and that's had some kind of effect on me. But the truth of it is this: most men don't have that. So most guys I know, the vast majority, or guys that I coach, it's the only real experience they had of women started once puberty kicked in and they started to get interest in them sexually. So when they were kids, they weren't playing with girls at all. In fact, when you're at school and you've got like boys and girls, especially when you're really young, if you as a boy try to run over and play with the girls, a teacher would usually come and shoo you away and push you back to being with the boys. Completely like different and separate. So most guys do not really, they can't really conceptualize being friends with a woman because it's never really happened. For some reason, women can do this quite easily. This is a very tough thing for men to do. That's number one. Another thing is that as men, we are turned on or attracted by largely different things to women. So women are largely attracted to things like social status and confidence and things like that. The main thing that attracts a man to a woman is her physical beauty, okay? Now, that's not necessarily what's going to keep him there, okay? So, like, if she's a beautiful idiot, he might eventually leave. But the main thing that's going to attract that man is her physical beauty, when that's not really the case for women. I've heard loads of women say that men are visual creatures. And it's very true. Men are actually visual creatures. But, so the thing is this. You have a man who's never really had friends with, or had female friends, and then he's also visually attracted, and here's the thing as well. So it's like, he is now friends with her, right? So Michi, this guy's friends with you. And do you know how rare it is for women to be genuinely warm and affectionate with men? It's kind of rare. Like, if you're a man, it's once puberty kicks in, it's very, very rare and unusual for women to be like warm, affectionate, etc., friendly. And being friendly, it's not a million miles removed from being romantic. Of course, it's not the same thing, but it's not a million miles removed. It's like completely different to being, let's say, business-like or aloof. So you're with this guy and you're being friendly, and he has maybe opened up to you about things and you've opened up to it about him. And in his mind, as well as the fact that he's attracted to you because he's a visual creature, and for you to say that all your male friends try to have sex with you, that means you're a very beautiful woman, right? Well, to be fair, I know you are, I actually know you, but whatever. So he's got this very beautiful woman who visually is like appealing to him, and she's being warm and friendly and affectionate in a way that most women aren't. And then his mind starts to wander, and then it's like, oh, maybe there's actually something there. Maybe that time when we were talking and we were sitting on the couch and my elbow touched hers, or her fingers grazed mine and I felt that spark, maybe she actually felt it too. He's starting to think things like that. And that's basically it. It's like, because here's the thing as well, there's something else to it. You see, like, as a woman, you've got a male friend, right? Now, let's say that male friend is a great male friend, and it's like, I absolutely love this guy. I cherish this guy. He is wonderful. He's fantastic. All right, cool. And then there's men that you sleep with, you have sex with, whatever. In your mind, right? That male friend who you love and who you cherish and who you have a great time with, he's way more valuable than the men that you're just having sex with, because it's rare to have a great male friend who you have this like bond with, this connection with, who gives you fantastic advice, etc. That is because men are coming up to you. Men come up to you, men approach you, men are trying to win you over on dating apps, men are trying to slide into your DMs on Instagram, etc., etc., etc. From the perspective of a man, this man who is friends with you, right? He doesn't have that many women in his life. Like, it's a very small percentage of men that actually have real access to female options. The average woman has real access to male options, but the average man does not have that much access to female options. So from his perspective, to get with a woman who he was friends with, it's like, it's more worth it to him. It really is, because women come around much less frequently. That it's much harder to actually get. Whereas from her perspective, it's like, no, this guy's my friend. I don't want to lose that friendship for something that I can get quite easily. But for him, the thing that the woman could get quite easily, which is the sex, he can't get that easily. And therefore, he would be much more apt to take the risk. So there we go. Really, essentially, it is like this, to clarify. Most men don't grow up with female friends and therefore find it hard to visualize the concept of being friends with women. Like, they kind of do. I say this to guys that I coach all the time. I say, you do realize that women are people, right? And they go, And like, let's say like a guy goes out and he meets a girl and he has a great time with her, and then he comes to me and like, he goes, Kieren, I met this girl and I had a fantastic time and like, she's amazing. And I go, yeah, so why is she amazing? And he'll go, because she liked everything that I said. I'm like, really? So in order for a woman to be amazing, she just needs to look good and like everything you said? And he's like, oh crap, you're right. I don't really have that much standards when it comes to female personality at all. Like, they find it hard to visualize being friends with a woman. That's one thing. And then also number two, it's like, it's hard to get sex. It is. So then he's more likely to take the risk. Number three, you beautiful woman, men are visual creatures. Visual. So, because like, here's the thing, like, as a woman, right? You meet a man, and that man is acting friendly towards you, and it's just a friendly vibe, etc. That's it. It's nothing. It's just friendly. Cool. So from your perspective, you're like, oh, me and him are just friends. It's just a friendly vibe. I'm feeling nothing but a friendly vibe from him. Ergo, me and him are just friends. But to be honest with you, a huge part of why you're not feeling a friendly vibe is most likely because he's nervous about expressing his sexuality and his interest. And because he's nervous, he compresses it in. And then because he compresses it in, you don't feel a vibe, right? And then it's like, oh, I don't really feel a vibe. From his perspective, you're hot, right? So he's feeling something, he just doesn't really have the balls to express it. You see what I mean? And then essentially, like I say, these things kind of grow, they coalesce, etc. And at some point, he finds the balls, the courage, the cojones to give it a shot. And by give it a shot, I mean try to get with you. So then what do? I don't know. To be honest with you, I'll say just try and get good at ascertaining which men are genuinely want to be your friends. Now, like I said, if a man has grown up with female friends like myself, that's a guy that you can be sure genuinely does want to be friends with you. Another thing as well is like this, like if you meet a man and at first when you meet, he's trying to get with you and then you decide to quote unquote friend zone him, don't think that because you've placed him in the friend zone, that means that in his mind, he's in the friend zone. You might have decided that he's just a friend, but you don't have the ability to control what's going on in his brain. So it might be that. So I'd say that's it. If a man has had loads of female friends throughout his life, that might be something you could ask him. If he has, that's a very good option. Number two, men who are trying to get with you that you want to slide into the friend zone, well, to be honest with you, the odds are they're going to continue to want you until they're just going to continue to want you. So if I were you, I would not deal with those situations if you don't want to have something like that occur in future. That is it for this video, but guess what do I have to say? What I have to say is that I would really like you, the person, the Homo sapien who is watching, to buy my book, Preeta's Web of Chaos. It is a young girl's journey of personal transformation where she encounters a series of harrowing obstacles, right? Scary situations that she's in the middle of them and she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know if she's strong enough to overcome them. She doesn't know if she's good enough. She has so much fear, but she refuses to give up. And you know why? Because she's a G. Little Preeta refuses to give up because she's a G, and she pushes forward and she fights and she fights, and eventually she emerges like a friggin' butterfly from a chrysalis, right? Like from a chrysalis of pain and confusion and sorrow and torment, she emerges into this like goddess of a being, this true leader that has the ability to lead her people and save the day. And I'd like you to read the book. That has been it for me. Bye, toodaloo, take care. Oh, no. Like, subscribe, slam the notification bell. That's really important because there's the algorithm, right? So if you like the video, YouTube will go, oh, people like this video. I'm going to recommend this video to more people. If you subscribe, you will see more of my content. Okay, if you slam the notification bell, every time I create a new video, you will get a notification of that video. And yeah, please drop a comment as well because that helps the algorithm. Thank you and goodbye.